think likely the biggest misconception of Donnie was that he was upset or an angry person.
He had his own personality, he had his own strength.
Just because he didn't say very much, it didn't mean that he wasn't paying attention.
It was a comforting thing to know that Don was always there.
When Don moved here in the mid-'80s, he came from an institution in Aurelia.
And he didn't talk. For years, they thought he couldn't speak.
We helped him find an apartment on the main street in Huntsville. He lived there actually in that same apartment for 17 years.
I guess I just don't remember Don not being around. He was just kind of always here.
The Town of Huntsville instituted a bylaw that required all the Main Street businesses to have had their snow cleared by 10 a.m. That was the job for Don.
Don started sweeping the streets.
His work was very serious to him, very serious. He wanted to do the shoveling, he wanted to do the sweeping.
Other merchants started approaching him, and within a few years, we just weren't even needed anymore.
He was loyal, dependable. His routine was just something to be admired.
He knew where everything was and how everything had to be.
The high school kids were hard on him.
The kids used to call him Boots because he wore big rubber boots all the time.
There were many times when kids, teenagers, would pick on Donnie.
There was fear, real fear on his part.
Often he'd act out by going after them with his broom. Police were called a couple times.
And that's happening to you every day for years. It has a huge impact.
We had a meeting with Community Living that he would have safe places.
The fact that if he needed anything, there'd be all sorts of merchants here that would be able to help him out in one way or another.
You know, and somebody would come out and sort of say, is everything okay?
In the last 5-6 years, nobody picked on him.
It didn't chase Donnie away from the street. He didn't leave.
Don became a valued employee, a friend, and a respected member of the Main Street community.
Never missed a holiday with him. We had birthday parties, Christmas.
He had people in his life who cared about him, who celebrated events with him.
He's part of my family too.
I think a lot of people, like me, when I first got to see him, assumed he was a crazy old guy who was angry all the time, and it really wasn't the case.
After he passed away, it was like, oh my goodness, I thought deeper. And I knew him for 18 years. You wonder why I didn't think deeper earlier.
It's a shame that his passing, I think, maybe forces us to think about that more, but I hope it does.
For me, it was more about making sure he always felt like he was part of the town, which he was. I mean, we miss him.
He built, I think, a family for himself on Main Street.
We are resurrecting a broom that he actually swept the streets with across at that gate because he lived right across from me for years in the upstairs apartment. So we want to pay tribute to him because he was part of our town, he was part of all our families.
Just because they're different doesn't mean they're to be mocked or they're to be afraid of. That our differences are what make us all the rich, vibrant community that we are.
Yeah, just very, very, very sweet, and I miss him so much.
I think if there was one word to describe Donnie, it would be misunderstood.
Prideful.
Dedicated.
Warm.
I have many, many memories of Donnie, and I miss him every day.